So just as you said, you used to based in Africa, right? And you are in this organization called AGRA, which aims to introduce the policies, technologies from China to help African countries to increase or improve their living standards and also agriculture development, right? So among the projects that you've been doing, so what is particular, popular in every countries and the lessons that we learned from China that you think are the most impressive?
Thanks. So let me maybe first start with introducing a bit about AGRA. So AGRA itself is an African organization. It has about 300 employees, and I'm the only Chinese people.
Wow.
So actually, AGRA is fully African-led. It was founded about 14 years ago by the former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan. So the goal of AGRA is to promote agriculture transformation in Africa. Maybe many Chinese people wouldn't. Today I'm 28 years old, and I don't remember what is the feeling to be hungry. But actually, that's the situation in Africa. Agriculture still employs about 60% of the people in sub-Saharan Africa and contributes only 20% of the GDP. So there's a lot to do. And as I mentioned, China was once very poor, and we don't have great agricultural output or yield. A very concrete example, rice yield. We maybe know that due to Yuan Longping and due to the green super rice in China, now the average yield of rice in China is about 6 to 7 tons per hectare, but the average in Africa is only 1 to 1.5. So there's a lot to be improved and to be learned from China. My job within the organization is to explore how we can introduce the policy learnings, the experiences, but also products, technology, investment, and public funding from China to help Africa grow the agriculture. I guess your question was, what is the most common or most promising ones?
Right.
I think technology or products-wise, there's a lot. We can talk about mechanization, talk about improved seed varieties, but also I think the experience and policy are very important. How do we strengthen the institution? How do we promote mechanization, for example? All these is lessons we can learn from China.
That's great. And well, you just mentioned, we are like the similar age, right? So we don't even remember the days we are starving. Maybe my parents' generation or, my great-grandparents, maybe they have the times, the really hard times, of keeping themselves full. But for our generation, life has become so much better. But for the kids in Africa, like starving is one of the key concerns faced by them. And I know that's why maybe Yimenghan, so you have initiated this project which helps the young people, the very young kids, students, to have the free lunch project. Is that correct?
Yes. So basically what happens for us to start the NGO was it was 2014, and I was a sophomore at the local university, and I got a chance to visit the second largest slum in Kenya, which is called Mathare. It's basically a 3-kilometer square piece of land with about 600 people in population, and the houses will be mostly built with iron sheds, with less power supply and with no good water, flowing water in the area, and cause a lot of disease and hungry issues and many other difficulties. So I joined as volunteers to teach in one of the school, and we found that the condition of the study environment is really, really bad. There is no any lights. Teachers and students are squeezed in about 7 to 10 meters square room without any lights.
Wow.
And we just felt that maybe we could do something. And so me and some of my friends who are also university students, we started to do the fundraising in China, which is crowdfunding. We funded about 80,000 Chinese yuan, and we have renovated that school with concrete and bricks, with some good lights coming in. So then we see a really big difference that students will be having a better study environment. But then the problem comes afterwards. There is a lot of students you would see them dropping out of school because they may not have enough, the family may not have enough money, and because job or with other different reasons. So then we started expanding our projects by providing some art trainings and the feeding program as well. To elaborate more on the feeding program, basically we'll work with the schools, whereby we'll be providing breakfast and lunch in school. As long there is a school day, there will be the feeding program, and students will be able to be facilitated to come to school and study because there is 1 to 2 meals a day, and it will reduce the pressure from the families. So we could see quite some difference from this starting till now. It's now 3 years in the feeding program, and we have covered in about 6 African countries before the pandemic, because after the pandemic, a lot of school has been closed, suspended due to the pandemic. Right. So just given an example of Channel Light Center, one of the school that we have renovated, it used to have about 200 students. And now it has, after the expansion and the feeding program, it has a better teaching environment, better structure, and also the student has increased to 436 students. So we did see some improvements through the projects.